Hey folks, Trick here. In this video, I'm going to be discussing something that is extremely important. This is the number one reason why day traders fail, and it's not what you think. So hold on, sit back, watch, relax. You're going to learn something. I'm going to be discussing something that nobody really talks about. This is a lot different than what you are probably used to for the number one reason why day traders fail. So let's get into it.
So one of the biggest issues that people have, and I used to say, years ago, and you could go back through, YouTube videos or even member video lessons in the Tricktrades video lesson library, mentoring live classes, anywhere, right? Even putting on social media, like one of the biggest reasons why the biggest reason why most day traders fail isn't necessarily due to what I used to say about, they don't put in the work, which is obviously a big contributing factor to why people fail. They think it's easy. They just don't put in enough work. But I think the type of work that people aren't putting in is the most important part. And this is something that really nobody talks about, or very few people talk about, and they don't talk about it in detail. Now, people will only see what happens after, 5-10 years of being in the markets, and they see people that are successful, and they oh, must be nice. Oh, they're lucky, this and that. They must have studied the charts really hard. And at some point, you can only study the charts so much, right? You can only go over the technicals so much. You can only plot levels so much. You can only work on trends so much. A lot of it, the biggest reason why day traders fail is they aren't doing enough self-work. Now, what do I mean by self-work? Well, it takes an incredible amount of emotional management to be a trader. Now, anybody that knows me, and I've talked about this before, on a personal level, now I'm most definitely an emotional person. When I'm pissed off, I'm going to show it. When I'm happy, I'm going to show it. Now, there's a switch that you have to be able to flip when you're a day trader. You have to be able to flip the switch and turn that shit off. You're not going to be able to hit these trades, and how many times a week do we nail a trade for over 100%? This morning's trade on Qs, 200%, very straightforward, easy trade, all called out live in chat. Now, it's not just about being able to recognize the setups. It's about having those emotions under control enough to where you can actually pull the trigger on something that you think you are seeing. And there's a major disconnect. A lot of people can see these trades unfold. They're like, oh yeah, because they'll look back and you'll see people do this shit all the time. They'll be, oh yeah, I called that. I made that call. I called that out. Yeah, but did you put your money where your mouth is? If the answer is no, it's because you don't have your emotions under control. So I don't want to talk about just that. Now, let's talk about some solutions. Now, I'm a huge advocate and have been for years with microdosing mushrooms, more specifically psilocybe cubensis. I believe that is a huge contributing factor to my success over the years. You're able to do a lot of self-work with that. And also taking time, every single day to do some thinking. How did you handle certain situations? What could have you done a little bit better? It's about progressing. It's about wanting to be better. Now, the one point in my life, the one area in my life where my finances depend on it, and finances equal freedom. So that's where I put my time in. That's the type of self-work I do. What can I work on after this market goes dead? So after hours, how can I work on things that'll make me a better trader? Well, at this point in my career, the technicals I've got down pat. And now it's a matter of working on emotion. Now, anyone that's been in the service knows anytime I'm in a trade, and even when I'm trading live with the momentum members, And I can be in with massive size, huge size, hundreds and hundreds of contracts, and you won't hear any inflection in my voice. And that doesn't happen overnight. That doesn't happen by accident. It's by doing self-work. It's about working on yourself. Not enough people fucking do that. So if you're truly wanting to actually take this serious and make a career of this, get it to the place where you're actually paying your bills and supporting your family. You have to work on yourself. You know, a lot of people will use the word meditation and they'll talk about stuff like that. I don't even go as far as to say meditation. I'm sure it works. I'm sure it helps. You don't have to necessarily put some sort of tag on it or handle on it. Just sit down, find a quiet spot, and then reflect on your day. Where did you fuck up? What could you do better next time? Where did you make your mistakes? I tell my members at Tricktrades all the time to run drills. Run drills on possible outcomes of these charts. If it did this, what would happen then? Even though the trade worked, if it would have done this, how would I have managed it? You know, on this Q's trade, prime example here. Let's say this didn't hold, okay? Now this is where every single day at the end of the market, I run drills. I talk about with myself, what happens if it continued down? Where would I add? Where would it come back up to? Well, it would come back into this. It would pull back, and then you have one of two options. It would either confirm with a higher low or double bottom, adding into that to move north, or simply put, number two, it can fail. What happens if it fails? What happens if it breaks out? Where would I pay myself? Well, in option one, as it comes up, back into that, I'm going to pay myself heavy there because it's already failed it once. Now, where am I going to pay myself next? Well, there's another resistance. There's another resistance. Now to my final target. Now, what do I do if it fails? Possible outcomes, drills. It's another way to work on yourself. It's about being prepared. When you're prepared for every single stone and brick and broken bottle flying at your head that the market gives you, if you're prepared for that, it's not going to catch you off guard. Nothing can catch you off guard. And that's how I remain calm in these positions. I've run the drills constantly. I know what happens next. It's almost a way to see the future. Now, mind you, you don't know the direct path that future is going to take. It can throw curveballs at you, but guess what? You're prepared. And this is how I believe if you do these steps, if you do these things, you will be a much better trader.
Okay, folks, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you learned something. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is kind of just an agreement. If you're here watching for the first time, great. You don't have to subscribe, but give it a thumbs up. And if this is more than once that you are coming back, then it's an agreement. I'm doing this for free. All you got to do is subscribe and make sure to like the video, and that's it. So on that note, folks, have a great day. Ciao. Adios.